What's up, you guys? Your boy Lottery Ticket here. At tickets_lottery on Twitter. This is going to be a NFL feature video, and I break down all 32 teams here. Uh, so let's get right at it. AFC East, Patriots under 8.5 wins. Half the defense is sitting out. I don't think Cam Newton's the answer to the quarterback. I think he's going to be injury prone, and I just don't think they have a good enough offense to get to 8.5 wins. So lean the under there. Buffalo lean over 9 wins. This is a very just crappy division overall. I think Josh Allen improves his game a little bit. I think he improves his deep ball. And I think he'll beat the Patriots, Jets, and Dolphins maybe 5 out of 6 games. So they have to win 4 more to get to 9. And I think that's going to be pretty easy for them. So lean me over there. New York Jets, they got kind of hot second half last year when they were out of playoff contention. Lean over 6.5. I think it goes 7-9 this year. And Adam Gase may keep his job to year 3. I just don't know. Miami Dolphins lean under 6.5. Ryan Fitzpatrick is good, but I just think that team's just so under-talented right now outside him that even though the division's not that great, a lot of fourth-place teams they'll face this year, Cincinnati, and I want to say the Chargers will be much improved, and the AFC West will be much improved. So I think that's 6 or 7 losses for them right there. So lean the under for the Dolphins at 5-11. AFC North, Baltimore lean over 11.5 wins. John Harbaugh will get Lamar Jackson ready every week. I think it'll be a great regular season team. The playoffs will be a different story, but I do like the over 11.5 wins there. Pittsburgh Steelers lean under 9.5. Big Ben's back, but it only takes that one injury, and they're just a completely dysfunctional team. Tomlin's job is on the line, so lean under 9.5 wins there. Cleveland, lean under 8.5. I think this is a make-or-break year for Cleveland. I do like Mayfield. I do like Hunt, and their offensive line is somewhat better. But I do think Odell Beckham's shenanigans and tomfoolery will just suppress their development. They got another offensive coach. I do not like that. I think you win games on defense. So lean the under 8.5 there. Cincinnati, not really big lean, but lean the under 5.5. It's going to be tough for Joe Burrow with very little practice to get acclimated to the NFL. Just a lot of first-year guys. I do like Zach Taylor. I think he's a good coach, but that team is just so lost right now, especially on the defensive end. They're okay offensively, but I think they're atrocious defensively, and I think that shows. Real quickly, AFC South, Tennessee, over 8.5 wins. Not by much, though. I think they're a much better playoff team than a regular season team. But everybody's forgetting about Tennessee. They beat Kansas City last year. They beat Baltimore last year. They beat New England last year. That's not very easy to do. So lean over 8.5 wins. Houston, 7.5. I think that's right on the number. Probably over. Bill O'Brien's got to be on coke or something, but I do think Watson, that team's one Watson injury away from just being 4-12 and awful. Same thing with J.J. Watt. So that's really kind of a layaway game, stay away game. Indy, under 9.5. Rivers, he's up by 21 or down by 21, and he comes back or he collapses. I don't think it's going to be any different here. I will say that Indy, despite their revolving door around quarterback last year, went 7-9, so they don't need to improve a whole lot. But I do think they'll underachieve and get under 9.5 wins. Jacksonville, under 4.5. This team's going to be awful. Okay? This team might give a run at 0-16. They have a brutal schedule against the AFC North. And I want to say I want to say they play the NFC West. No, they don't. No, they don't. NFC North. Okay? And those teams are going to be pretty good. Green Bay, Minnesota as well. So lean the under there. Kansas City over 11.5 wins. Not by very much, though. I think it'll be 12-4. I think they'll lay down a few games that they shouldn't. But I do think they'll be right there in the playoffs. Danville, that's going to be a free unit feature on my Twitter. Chargers, no lean. I think 8's the right number. I think it'll be 8-8. Las Vegas lean, slightly under. I think new city, new stadium, that's great. But without practice, I don't think Marcus Mariota and Derek Carr will develop a whole lot. There's a competition between those two. And typically when there's a competition, it's not good for the team. It's a drain on the team. And I think that'll show here. So lean under 7.5. NFC, Dallas, free unit feature. Twitter, tickets _ lottery. Philadelphia, over 9.5. However, this team's one Deshaun Jackson injury away from not doing well, or Carson Wentz injury from not doing well. So kind of lay off there. Giants and Redskins, Washington football team, whatever. Both of those teams, New York and Washington, lean under 6 and 5 respectively. I don't think those teams are going to do anything besides sucking this year. I really do. A lot of blowouts, a lot of just atrocious defense, a lot of nasty quarterbacks, whatever. Washington, I'm happy that Alex Smith's back on. God bless him. But with Haskins and Keenum, you cannot tell me that team's going to get over 5 wins. They'll be lucky to get 4. So lean under there. Green Bay and Minnesota, both over 9. I think these teams are undervalued, especially the Vikings. I think Kirk Cousins is in his make-or-break year. They went 10-6 last year. I think you're going to see the same thing here. Minnesota might overachieve just a little bit. Same thing with Green Bay. I think Green Bay's disrespected. I think this is Rodgers' last year as a Packer, and I think he'll want to do well for other teams, maybe even stay with Green Bay. Chicago, Detroit, under 7.5 and 7 respectively. Mitchell Trubisky, I don't think is going to develop into a franchise quarterback. I really don't. Nick Foles really does well at Philadelphia. That's about it. Other than that, he's stunk everywhere else he's gone. So lean the under in Chicago and Detroit. I think that team's just a mess. I like Matthew Stafford, but I think he'll be injured again with a shoulder or whatever this season. That shoulder's been banged up so many times now. So lean the under there. NFC South, New Orleans over 10.5 wins. I think you get to 11 this year. I think this is the last year because of their cap situation. I think Breeze and Kamal will show up. And Michael Thomas, best receiver in the game, alongside Hopkins and Tyreek Hill. I think that team will... that team has a rough schedule in the middle. Chiefs, Broncos, Bucks, twice. Not easy. But I do think they'll get to 11 wins because this is really the last season to win a Super Bowl before they have to blow the team up. Tampa Bay, over 9.5. I understand they don't have a lot of practice time, but I don't think it will take a lot of time for Brady and Gronkowski and Evans and Godwin and the offensive line to gel. I don't think he'll make a deep run in the playoffs, but I do like them to win a lot of regular season games. So lean over there. Atlanta, not a big lean, but I like under 7.5 wins. God. Under 7.5. I just don't think Matt Ryan will do that great. Julio Jones, their defense is just Swiss cheese holes in them. Like Swiss cheese, I think that'll show. So lean under 7.5 wins. Now, Carolina, over 5.5 wins. I like Carolina a lot. Bridgewater's, I think, a step up compared to Newton. They still have McCaffrey, they still have Olsen. I think his team's undervalued. And so I do think they'll get to 7 wins this year. So lean over there. That was very close to being my third future. San Fran, hop over to Twitter at tickets_lottery for that feature. Seattle under 9.5 wins. I don't like the way how they're down in the second and third quarter and have to come back in the fourth. I think it'll bite them this year. So lean under 9.5 wins, even though I think Russell Wilson will have a great year. Rams over 8.5 wins. Barely. I think everybody's figured out Sean McVay. I think everybody's figured out this team. And I think their best days are behind them. Everybody's figured out how to play Jared Goff. So lean under or over 8.5 wins, but at 9 wins, just barely. In Arizona, lean over 7.5. I think this team's going to shock a lot of people. I mean, beat San Fran once, beat the Seahawks at Seattle, beat the Niners at the Niners. I think his team... I thought Cliff Kingsbury was just a gimmicky hire. I think he's a good NFL coach. I never would have said that last year, but I do like Hopkins. I do like Murray. Duke Johnson. I think he's a stud at the running back position. Their defense is not that bad as people make them out to be. So I do like over 7.5 wins. Maybe get to 8-8 this year. So that is what we have for you guys today. Hope you guys like this video. If you do, leave a like and subscribe. Follow at tickets_lottery for the free NFL futures. They are on Denver, Dallas, and San Francisco. All right? Peace.